In the year 1976, there was a car bombing on a quiet avenue in Washington, D.C. that would lift the veil on a transnational campaign of terror. On the morning of September 21, a black Chevrolet carrying Orlando Letelier, a former Chilean foreign minister and outspoken critic of Augusto Pinochet, and his American colleague, Ronnie Moffett, exploded at Sheridan Circle. Letelier died instantly. Moffett succumbed to her wounds days later. The blast was not an isolated act of violence, but the visible tip of a well-oiled conspiracy stretching across South America. To understand that morning, you have to start in Santiago, 1973. A brutal coup toppled Salvador Allende and installed General Pinochet. The new regime created DINA, a secret police whose mandate extended beyond Chile's borders. By the mid-1970s, DINA was not merely hunting dissidents inside Chile, it was exporting repression. Intelligence officers met in secret with counterparts from Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, and Brazil to coordinate an operation with the chilling name, Operation Condor. Operation Condor was a network of shared intelligence, cross-border kidnappings, renditions, and assassinations. It married old-fashioned surveillance with modern logistical cooperation. Files were exchanged, safe houses coordinated, targets tracked as they fled into exile. Orlando Letelier, once a defender of Chile's democratic experiment and later an organizer of exiles in Washington, had become a particular threat. He had been Allende's ambassador to the U.S. and later minister. In exile, he lobbied, wrote, and made enemies of those who benefited from the dictatorship. Investigators would eventually trace the Letelier bombing back to DINA operatives. Michael Townley, a U.S.-born agent working for Chilean intelligence, admitted building the explosive device and collaborating with agents who planted it beneath the driver's seat. Documents and later testimonies revealed that DINA's director, Manuel Contreras, oversaw operations designed to silence dissidents abroad. The technical sophistication, remote detonation, careful surveillance, safe flight corridors betrayed the fingerprints of a transnational machine. The assassination in Washington produced immediate shock. A foreign government had killed a man on American soil. Questions about diplomatic immunity, covert ties, and foreign policy arose at the highest levels. U.S. prosecutors convened grand juries. Townley pleaded guilty in U.S. courts in 1978, cooperating to expose parts of the plot. The case drew attention not only to those who pulled the trigger, but to the infrastructure that made it possible: shared intelligence files, lists of enemies, and tacit cooperation among authoritarian states. Over the next decades, declassified documents and survivor testimonies painted a larger picture. Operation Condor wasn't a single order from a single command center, but a loose federation of security services, fueled by anti-communist zeal, Cold War paranoia, and the logistical support that allowed hit squads to operate across borders. The U.S. relationship with dictatorships in the region, complicated and sometimes complicit, emerged under scrutiny. While the extent of direct American involvement in specific killings remains debated, archives show contacts, training, and intelligence exchanges that helped Condor function. The legal reckoning was slow. Some architects of the terror, like Contreras, were eventually prosecuted in their home countries as new democracies and truth commissions sifted through the archives. Survivors and families insisted that truth mattered as much as punishment. For many exiles, Letelier's assassination became a rallying point, proof that repression followed descent into free societies and that silence could be bought with impunity only for a time. Today, the Sheridan Circle blast reads as a line in a larger ledger of state violence. It revealed how modern dictatorships coordinated across borders, how a secret police could learn to operate with frightening efficiency, and how geopolitics of the Cold War created permissive environments for atrocities. The story of Orlando Letelier and Operation Condor is a reminder. When repression becomes bureaucratized and transnational, democracy's defenders can be made vulnerable anywhere, unless memory, investigation, and justice follow the tracks of conspiracy into the open.